don't need you to take up for me. I'm all right. I'm a grown man. I can handle it. If you let him have your cornbread, you're going to be ironing his drawers and clipping his toenails. I know niggas iron.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Oh, motherfucker, you can't have my cornbread. That's for damn sure. Because if you try to take my cornbread, part 2 of my killing spree going to begin up in here on your ass right now. If you think about my cornbread begin to taste out your mouth, that's for damn sure. Now, fuck him. Fuck that. Because I'm from New York City, goddammit. Nobody take no cornbread from me. And that go for you and any other you motherfucking farmers want to try some shit. You fuck around with me, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to Bodywork Boxing.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. And that little clip y'all saw, that's my scorecard right here, just in case you want to zone in and see the scorecard for the Chris Colbert. You know what I'm saying? Let's get right into it. We're not going to waste any time, man. I spent a lot of time, basically highlighting the fact that, some of the fighters, man, that got the Deontay Wilder curse, they really didn't get much support. Like I talked about the Jamal Charlo, and I did a video about Chris Colbert and the lack of support. And for whatever reason, man, like I can't, this is reminiscent of when T.O. actually fought Cambosos. You know what I'm saying? It's ironic that both of these guys are some New York cities. You know what I'm saying? And clearly they both had the wrong game plan. But I believe that the downfall came actually before the fight. When they were talking to Chris Colbert, he basically said that he didn't study Hector Garcia. Hector Garcia is an Olympian. He was known as an established puncher, and he was a late replacement. He had just fought, I think he had just fought back in December. So he had fought, I think, less than 90 days ago? So he fought like 2 months ago. And when they asked Chris Colbert about him, he said, I don't study film. My middle name is Adjustment. He was talking cash money like Chris Colbert always do. It's nothing out of the ordinary. He's a very braggadocious type person, but for some reason, he didn't stick to the game plan. And I don't think his mindset was right going into the fight, Bump the fact that he was highlighting this card and he didn't get, all the support. I mean, I know that probably affected him as well, as not getting the support. It's like, you prime time, you headlining your card. I think the letdown, he did talk about the letdown, about it not being a title shot. So I think he overlooked this guy. And, rule number 1 is know thyself. Rule number 2 is know thy enemy. So sometimes it's always a red flag when, these boxers say, oh, I don't study film and this and that. I'm like, that's crazy. I think the people over at McDonald's, they're always looking at what Wendy's and Burger King are doing, what they got going on. It's competition. You got to know the competition. You got to know your enemy. You got to know yourself, but then you got to know your enemy as well. Second, in the fight, let's see. He basically got his cornbread taken, man. The man got his cornbread taken. Hector Garcia came in and said, you gonna eat your cornbread? And he said, I'm from New York City. Man, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Why? Because Chris Colbert always prided himself as being the boxer. He actually favors the boxers over the puncher. And right out the gate, you kind of see, and he kind of illustrated to where he was going to stand toe-to-toe with this guy. Why? why his camp would let him do it, why he would go in it with that mindset. It's just like when T.O. came out with Cambosos, he just wanted to rush up and run up on Cambosos, and he learned quick. Well, Chris Colbert tried to stand toe-to-toe with Hector Garcia, and Hector Garcia got his respect very early, apparently. So he was going toe-to-toe. In the first round, let me see what I had. He had no movement. You know, the first round out the gate, I had Hector Garcia winning the first round. He was more effective, and he countered Chris very well. The second round, Chris got him with a good three-piece. It was some good infighting. He clearly was landing the more effective punches, and it was appearing as though he wasn't respecting Hector Garcia's power. So I gave that second round to Chris. The third round, he landed a good body shot, and he was letting Garcia work, but clearly he was still the more effective. And Hector Garcia actually was getting in the shot, so I gave the third round to Chris. After that, it was all downhill. The fourth round, he was playing around too much. He allowed Garcia to work way too much. It was the wrong type of style. Like, Chris Colbert got good legs. He's definitely had the better hand speed. I would say he probably had the better head movement as well, but he won. Hector Garcia won that round. He landed more shots. He landed a lot of shots. In the fifth round, Chris Colbert was very lazy. You know, he was fighting lazy and uninspired. And again, Hector Garcia was landing more effective. He landed a lot more punches than Chris Colbert, and he was more effective. So going into the sixth round, I had a 47-48. Right? In the sixth round, he was still fighting lazy, and he got caught a lot. You know, I gave the sixth round to Hector Garcia. And the corner started showing concern in the sixth round. You know, they was talking to Chris, like, what are you doing? They basically saying, what are you doing, man? Like, turn it up. Like, what's going on? In the seventh round, that's when he got dropped. He got countered with a left to the chin. And that chin was like, yeah. Anytime your chin go from the center of your chest to your shoulder in like 1,000th of a millisecond, it sends a signal. The sweet sign says, hey, legs, get down. We got hit with some shit. Because he got hit with some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the sweet science. After that, it was clear that it was done. That was the 10-8 round. That's when it went from 68 to 64 in Hector Garcia's way. In the 8th round, he kept his hand in his pockets, and he just looked like he was lost. He looked like a lost puppy. In the 9th round, he got a little bit more active, but you could tell he was gun shy, and that's when Hector Garcia just leaned on him. That was another round. It was 88-82. And then in the 10th round, he just started retreating. His will was broken, clearly broken in the 10th round. He had his hands in his pocket. And Hector Garcia was just working and just working. It was a point in time when he basically stood in the middle of the ring, was telling Chris, like, come on, let's fight. And then Chris was standing there like, come on, let's fight. But he had no will to engage at that point. In the 11th, he was just embarrassed and broken. And at that point, you know what I'm saying, Hector knew, I mean, it was over. That's when it was, I had it 100 to 108. And in the 12th, he pretty much gave up his cornbread, man. He was like, here go my O, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. He just, here go my O, I'm gonna let it go. It was a blowout. So I actually came out with I had 109, 118 in favor of Hector Garcia. And that was my notes. You know, and it was shown that according to power punches, it was 200 to 101 on the power punches. So it was just a bad strategy. You know, his will was broken. He had no answers. And you know, I can't condone I cannot condone Chris Colbert cheating, man. You know, I'm one of the ones. I'ma support the fighters. You know what I'm saying? Mainly, especially my brothers. I'ma support my brothers, regardless. You know what I'm saying? I'ma have your back. But Uncle Mike gonna have to take you back behind the woodshed. You know what I'm saying? And let you have it. You know, when you ain't doing right. Because, man, I don't that quit mentality. If you listening, Chris, man, you quit, man. You let a lot of people down, man, by quitting, man. You let that man break your will. You had no desire to fight. You know, I don't know if it was the lack of support. I don't know if it was the letdown from the title shot. I don't know what it was, man. But in the box, like you never quit, man. Now, that's one thing that you really not gonna be able to live down, man. Is the fact that you quit, man. You let that man impose his will on you, and you gave up. You gave up. And what's interesting, in the post-fight interview, they interviewed Hector Garcia, and he said it was a point in time when he hit Chris with a body shot. And he said he knew that man wasn't going to be a boxer anymore. Body. I'm like, man, like it was an embarrassment. You know, I'm you know, just like T.O., man. If I rock with you, I rock with you. You know, and I still rock with Chris. I still rock with T.O. They basically got some rebuilding, some rebranding, some retraining, you know, maybe some of the sidebar activities, you know, I don't know. But mentioning Gary Russell's name, I wouldn't do it. Mentioning somebody like Shakur, I wouldn't do it. You know, and these guys, they basically gonna say, hey, man, you got to get back to the back of the line, man. Just like Loma. But Loma actually kind of gave the blueprint to how to get back in the saddle, man. You're going to have to go fight some of these big names, some of these people that, you know, everybody, like the high risk, low reward type people. You know, I don't know, but I hope your team go back, y'all regroup. You know what I'm saying? Like, you lost the fight, man, but it's not the end of the world. It's just sad that, you know, you had people riding for you, you know, regardless of the comments and your critiques on certain people and your views about other boxers. You had people riding on you, man, and you kind of let us down, man. Kind of let us down. But, hey, that happens in boxing, man, on any given night. I just hope that with the Jack Catterall situation and how he got robbed, if it go to the judge's scorecard, you can box perfect. But if you know you're going up against a puncher and you're a boxer, box, man. You're not just going to develop power overnight. You can do some things to kind of increase your power or be a little bit more effective, create a little bit more leverage on your punches and things like that. But if you're not a power guy, you can't stand and go toe-to-toe with a puncher. You got to use your angles. You got to use your speed, you know. And he said that his head wasn't in the game. But one thing I do salute the young brother about us. He was a good sport at the end. He said, look, I'm going to take my loss just like I take my wins. He was a good sport. You know, he put his arm around the brother. He gave him his kudos, and he admitted that he was just a better man. So that showed a lot. That showed some maturity. So, you know, it's not the end of the road once again. You know, Chris, you can get back in the saddle just like T. I don't know what the plans are. I wish you well, man. Just recover, man, and just, you know, just get back in the saddle and do what you know to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess, like they say sometimes, man, what, you ain't hungry no more? Get hungry again. You know what I'm saying? Get hungry again, man, and come back again. Anyways, man, like, comment, and subscribe on the videos. You know, that's my breakdown. It's not much more to add on the Chris Colbert situation. Oh, yeah, let me touch on the Gary Antuanne. Gary Antuanne actually put himself on display. I think he garnered a lot of praise. You know, it was questionable at the end whether or not it was a premature stoppage, but when they did the survey, they said 89% of the people that was watching and voted actually said that it wasn't a premature stoppage, and he actually stopped POSTOL in the last round, you know, toward the end of the round. He was very effective. Salute. That's how you do it. People from the DMV, you know what I'm saying, the DMV boxing warriors, you know what I'm saying, the talented Gary Antuanne Russell. We got to see a glimpse of Mr. Gary Russell, and he said, you know, 6 months, he'll be back in the saddle. So, you know, the DMV, you know, added another notch in their belt, you know, from one of my young up-and-coming fighters, man. Big things to come for Gary Antuanne. Salute on your victory, man. You actually did great under them big bright lights. You didn't let the pressure get to you. You spoke intelligently. You know, we saw that you was the valedictorian. You know, so we know you got the smarts, you got the physical, you got the brain. You know, you got it all, man. You on your way. And I think you made a statement. You need the statement that you needed to get the attention of the Brandon Lees of the world. Definitely the Josh Taylors of the world. You know, I would love to see that. You know, but hopefully, you know, they said they're gonna take it slow with Gary Antoine, and hopefully they continue to move him the way he needs to move. But he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. You know, so shout out to the Russell, shout out to Father Russell. You know, it was good to hear his voice. You know, and you know some of the things that he was saying. You know, and that, you know, he's still, you know what I'm saying, he's still in it. You know, he's still in it to win it. Them boys still in it to win it. The Russell clan is in it to win it. That's why they're my guys. You know what I'm saying? Anybody from the DMV, man. It's like all my brothers for the most part. But it was a good night of boxing. You know, we actually had 2 upsets, and we had the young brother from the DMV do exactly what he was supposed to do. So I want to say thanks to all my subscribers. Here where we feed the clones. We don't take things for face value. And I hope you guys enjoy the video. Body work.
All right. I believe you. But my Tommy gun don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
My word, I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, and we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey, look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fucked solid on the ring. You know what I'm saying? To the fans and all.
Do that job outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, ain't no safety on the clock, so I'm gonna do it.